So tell me what you've done different since I saw you.
Well, I started with the table tennis, just like you recommended. Also, in sports, I'm kind of ambidextrous. So I started focusing more on the opposite hand and, kind of switching it up. I would do my own basketball drills. For example, left hand shots, right hand shots, left hand layups, right hand layups. Just keep trying to work both sides. I also, thanks to Elizabeth, stopped drinking caffeinated coffee at night. She got a really nice blend of decaffeinated coffee, and I take that now. I recently started taking the sleep because she noticed a trend where I started getting a lot of sleep, but then it started dialing itself back again. So she started putting me back on your sleep aid, and it works phenomenally. So got back on that, but yeah, I've done all of that and brought attention to my navigation issue, which we talked about in the first episode, and it's gotten so much better.
That's so great.
Yeah, I don't get lost coming out of elevators anymore. Matter of fact, Elizabeth is now asking me, hey, you need to leave because I'm getting lost. So it's just pretty good. Yeah.
And how consistent are you with the supplements?
Every day. Every single day. She gives me supplements every single day. And when I go to the gym is why I take the powder for the brain boost and all that stuff. Every single day I'm taking the supplements.
Did I want you to do hyperbaric oxygen? You talk about?
That's the only thing I didn't get a chance to do. I didn't get a chance to hyperbaric oxygen.
So here's your scales before. Talked about temporal lobe being vulnerable, the occipital lobe wanted to activate your cerebellum, and the direction sense is here. So this is today's, and actually this part is better.
Wow.
And this part is better. So if we go back, you can see the hole here.
Yeah.
See the dimple here.
Yeah.
So we're making progress, but your temporal lobes aren't better. I want to find a way to get those to be better. And that's where something like hyperbaric oxygen can make a big difference.
Wow.
So this is what it can be like next year if we keep doing the right things. So it's better in a number of really important areas.
Yeah.
Vision, direction sense. So when this area is sleepy, it's the first sign of Alzheimer's disease. So we want to be on an Alzheimer's prevention program the rest of your life.
Gotcha.
Really important. So we're making progress there. I like that.
Yep.
So we see there's no white here. And this is today. Now there is. This part is good. This less red and more white. So this is sort of your emotional brain. Less going on here than before. You still have this diamond.
Yeah.
And you had a ton of past trauma. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
Did we talk about EMDR and this psychological treatment for trauma?
I don't believe we did it. I don't remember talking about EMDR.
EMDR is a therapy for trauma. And since you came, I've been recommending that for 30 years or more, but I went and got trained in it. It's so interesting. And it's fun from a therapist standpoint.
Yeah.
That it just helps so much. Do you ever feel like you get triggered?
Very few things really seriously trigger me. A lot of the times it's very surface. I don't even have a lot of stress right now, to be quite honest with you. So it could be something like a waitress or a waiter they forgot my condiment or something. But it doesn't really get me into a rage. It's like, they forgot the condiment. I mean, my stress levels on my problems in this world today right now are almost non-existent for me. So fortunately, I don't. But now what does happen I am, as you know, I'm an online researcher and I'm a content creator. And a lot of the topics I talk about every single day are very disheartening. And so I have to go through this huge cache of negative information all day long and sort out what I'm going to present to the world, what I'm not going to present to the world. And some of those things internally will activate me, but I don't show it outwardly. I have a good poker face, but I'm sure taking all that information in, it has to be doing something inside of my body.
Yeah, there's this study that just looking at negative information for 30 minutes shrinks the memory center.
Wow.
In your brain.
He's my fucking man.
That's not a good thing.
I try to balance negative with positive. I have to tell people what's going on based on, what this is what I do. And it's kind of alternative news, but at the same time, then I try to balance it with something positive. So I don't try to stay negative, but I have to go through all the information and filter what I'm going to present. So I am taking a lot in personally, but that's not what I'm putting out. So
Give me an example.
So for example, there may be a police brutality situation that occurs and, I've got to read all the information. I got to research the reports. I got to check out the police report. I got to verify the information for myself. Then I got to make a decision. Is this something worth me presenting today or not? Or have enough other people talked about this online that I don't need to worry about it? And if not, then I'll present it. And then the next post, I'll try to come with something about cute animals or, something that offers people inspiration, motivation. But I try to balance negative with positive. I don't want to just be negative. But I had to take all that information in myself, that day, and I had to analyze it, research it, and look it up and dig into it and make sure all the facts were right before I posted it. So in that way, I am downloading all of that information.
Do you find yourself reacting to it?
From time to time, I'll, I may, under my breath, I may say something, like, these people are crazy or, something like that. Sometimes I say I want to go to Mars. It's more peaceful on Mars. But then I reel myself in, I really have to look at it. I was talking the other day to someone else, it's like, when we see the negative, it stands out so big. There's so much positive going on, but it seems like the mind's always pulling, the negative seems much bigger than the positive. Even if you have one negative or two negative comments underneath a post on social media, they really stand out versus the ones that are more positive, just because I think the mind somehow is drawn to it. So I work with myself to try to figure out ways to, to combat that.
Well, you're wired for negativity, not as it you.
Right.
Us, right, species did, because it protected us. And but it also drives anxiety. What's next for you? What do you want to do with your life?
Well, working on building a legacy. That's really been my top priority. Coming from a family with very little means and understanding that that's been generational, not only myself, but a lot of the people that I grew up with, my main goal has been to build a legacy for my family, to leave behind something that will last multiple generations, not only financially, but spiritually and just consciously. And so I've been working on this system of teaching my family, creating the right wills, trusts, and testaments, building my business. I don't focus on what I'm going to get paid next week. I focus on building my legacy, and I automatically know by working on that, my abundance, my daily abundance is guaranteed. So that's all I focus on. What can I leave behind? What markers can I leave behind? What can I leave behind that people will look back and say, great-great-great-grandpa, he set us up for this, and he's got us on the right track. So I've been putting together and installing these different courses that I teach my family. They have to come together quarterly, making sure I have the right type of life insurance policies, making sure I have everybody in a will and a trust, and building my company, which right now is set up to eventually we're about to uplist, to NASDAQ. So I'm really excited about it.
How many kids do you have?
5, now 6 actually. 6, I have a new stepson.
And what are their ages?
32, 31, 28, 26, 22, and 10. And 4 grandchildren.
I have 5 bridge.
Yeah,
They're joy.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you got gifted generational trauma, but you're not going to pass it on.
Yeah. Not gonna happen.
That's got to feel so good.
Oh, it feels good. Somebody has to stop that. Somebody has to draw a line in the sand, and I figured it needed to be me. Just because, for whatever reason, I saw things differently, and I felt like I'm going to be the one that puts it on my shoulders, and I'm going to show that this change can be done, and it can and will happen, and it can also then be passed on and retaught over and over again.